A trivial act that raised a riot. Written by Manoj Das. Narrated by Samir Ranjan Das. A sage wandered from village to village, from town to town. He was followed by a lone disciple. The disciple, a restless young man, was in habit of talking rashly and often doing things which were not necessary. My boy, you must try to exercise some control over your speech and your actions. The sage often reminded him. The young man, no doubt, loved his master and promised every time to act according to his advice. One hot noon, the two travelers rested in a shed at the center of a bazaar. Opposite them was a grocer's shop. At that moment, there was no customer present there. The shopkeeper was looking into his stock and handling different items idly. While doing so, he dipped his fingers in the honey jar and then wiped them against a pillar, leaving a small smear of honey on it. Both the sage and his disciple were talking at that time about actions thoughtful and thoughtless. The sage said, "Now, my boy, what the shopkeeper did just now was thoughtless. Most of the troubles arise from thoughtless or unnecessary acts as well as from words uttered thoughtlessly. But master, what could be the harm in such an innocent act, even if it served no purpose?" asked the disciple. "My boy," said the sage, "I know what you are thinking. We should not see fear where there is none. That is right. What the shopkeeper has done may not seem harmful, but it contains the possibility of harm." Suddenly the sage stood up. "Let us go away," he said. "But master, it is still very hot," murmured the disciple. "True, but it is going to be hotter, I am afraid," said the sage. "I do not understand you, sir, and I am too tired to resume walking immediately," said the disciple. The sage did not say a word more. He sat down again. Soon a swarm of flies gathered on the patch of honey on the pillar. As they fought among themselves to gain access to the honey, they attracted the attention of a lizard which was somewhere on the wall. Slowly it came down the pillar and gobbled up a fly with a lightning motion of its tongue. The shopkeeper's cat, which was lolling on a pillow at its master's back and had not found any occasion to be active for some time, sprang up at the fat lizard and clawed it down to the ground. The lizard tried to escape and the cat chased it. Both were on the road. Suddenly a smart little dog rushed upon the cat and beat it. The cat gave out a piercing cry. The shopkeeper hurried down to the road, picking up a brick and hurled it at the dog. The dog was hit and it barked furiously and whined, attracting everybody's attention to its injury. The dog belonged to the landlord who was on his way to a friend's house. He was talking to a passerby when the dog was attacked by the shopkeeper. It so happened that the shopkeeper and the landlord belonged to two rival communities. When the landlord found his pet dog injured, he raised a hue and cry, claiming that the shopkeeper had done it with the intention of insulting him. In a few minutes, the landlord's supporters came rushing to punish the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper shouted for help. His people too were not late in arriving. In the meantime, an over-enthusiastic servant of the landlord set fire to the shop. The shopkeeper's friends lost no time in arming themselves with sticks and other weapons and attacking the landlord's people. A riot ensued. Shouts and shrieks rent the air. Several thatches went up in smoke. Many a bone was broken. While flames and smoke blinded the sky, the sage and his disciple left the bazaar. As they breathed freely in the open, the disciple touched the sage's feet and said, "I apologize for disobeying you, my master, but were you in a hurry to leave the bazaar because you anticipated the riot?" "My son, when I saw the shopkeeper unnecessarily dipping his fingers in honey and thoughtlessly wiping them against the pillar, I had a feeling that his idle action could lead to something unpleasant, because the atmosphere of bazaar was already charged with hatred," explained the sage.